All right, Lancers, today is day 2 of our ELA test, and we just want to make sure that you guys are doing your very best. So we're going to give you some advice on the performance task because this one's a little different from the CAT assessment that you took earlier this week. So the performance task is very different. You're still going to have 2 hours, 2 days to get this done. It's a lot more writing than it was on the constructive response question. So we just want to make sure that you have everything you need in order to be very successful on this particular assessment. Like we talked about on Monday, one of the first things we really want you to focus on is reading the question first. What is the question asking you before you actually answer it? Get a good grasp on what you're supposed to do in the particular short answer response. You're going to read the sources thoroughly. Okay, so you're going to read the question. What am I supposed to do? Then read the source so you can find answers to those 2 questions. Okay. Some of these are going to be short answer responses. Some of these are going to be a table that you have to fill out. Everyone's going to have something different, but just know what you're being asked and read the source thoroughly before you start answering anything. Now, when you're responding to the constructive response questions, you want to read all the questions carefully. You want to answer all parts of the question as thoughtful and organized as possible. Your teachers have been giving you a lot of strategies this year. We have race, right? You're going to restate the question. You're going to answer the question. You're going to cite evidence. This is where you can start using that highlighter tool in the sources to find your evidence that you really want to use. And then the last one, which is very important, explain the evidence that you just picked. You have to show the author or the people that are going to read your essay what you're trying. Why are you using this quote? Why are you using this source as an important part to answer the question? That's what they really want to see on a short answer constructive response question. If you have a table, some of you are going to get a table. Read the table to make sure you understand exactly what it's asking you to complete. Read the left side rows, read the top column. It's going to have a header. It's going to explain something along the header on what exactly it's looking for. And go row by row, column by column, and check off the boxes on the table accordingly based on what the question is asking you to do. Again, you've got to observe the table first, go back to your sources, and then start clicking along the way to make sure you're actually answering the question sufficiently. When you get to part 2, the essay, you're going to have 3 different types of essays. This is what our teachers have been working on all year long. You have an explanatory essay, an argumentative essay, and a narrative essay. You have to read the prompt carefully so you know which essay you need to write. And here's my advice. On scratch paper, once you identified what type of essay you think you have, write it on top. Write is it down. Is it explanatory? Is it argumentative? Is it narrative? Put it on top so you know exactly what you're supposed to do before you start answering the question. And then as you start reading your sources, again, you're going to start highlighting those evidence in the sources that you're going to use in your essay. If you get an explanatory essay, remember the whole point is to explain the topic from the prompt. Okay? You need to explain to the reader what you are going to have to do, whatever they want you to explain. So it should include an introduction. You're going to make a claim. There should be 3 body paragraphs. You're going to use and explain text evidence. You're pulling out evidence from the source. And then at the end, you're going to conclude it. So a nice 5-paragraph essay, 5, that you're going to have to write in order to get this thing done. And the goal is you're going to explain the topic using evidence from the sources. That's the most important part, is pulling out evidence from the source and then explaining why you use that evidence to make sense of your claim. If you get an argumentative essay, you're going to pick a side. A lot of you guys are good at arguing, right? So you're going to pick a side. You're going to make a claim about the topic. And then you're going to support your claim with logic and evidence. That evidence is still coming from the source. So when you're reading your sources, you're going to start highlighting on the sources what evidence you want to pull in order to make your argument. You're going to use and explain facts and details from your sources to support your claim and point of view. Why do you believe what you believe? Use the sources to back that up. You're going to have to include a counter argument or a rebuttal. Okay? My side believes this, my opponent believes this, right? That's what you got to explain, that rebuttal. You're going to address the opposing point of view and make sure that you address, hey, my opponent believes this, however, this is why I'm better, right? That is bringing up the counter argument. So just to sum that up, your essay should include an introduction. You're going to make a claim. You're going to have 2 body paragraphs using evidence and citing text evidence from there. You're going to have one counter argument, the rebuttal. Okay, that was the whole. These are the two paragraphs. I believe in something. However, my opponent in one paragraph, you're going to explain what they believe. And then you're going to write up the conclusion. Remind your reader why you are correct, reminding them all the good things that you found from the sources. The last one is a narrative essay. You're going to write a story. You're going to use story elements such as setting, characters, problem or conflict, plot evidence, resolution. This is where you're going to write things out and have all these elements of what a narrative essay has. You're going to use passages that you read to help you influence your narrative. You're going to use descriptions, figurative language, dialogue to make sure your story is very interesting. Your goal in a narrative essay is to tell a story. You're going to entertain the reader, all right? What's most important, Lance, is that you got this. We believe in you. You've been preparing for this all year long. I know that you guys are ready to go, and we believe in what you are capable of. But please, please, please take your time. We're giving you scratch paper. Before you hit submit on anything, we want to make sure that you are prepared. So proctors are walking around to give you some support of what you need to do your very best. Good luck to you guys, and we'll see you soon.